Allow yourself to be fully present here and now. We invite you to close your eyes, because with our eyes open, we appear to be separate. With our eyes closed, it's easier for us to remember our oneness. And though language is a challenge, and it seems to speak of separation, even the word we, as we say, we are one. We are one with God, and we are one in God. Take a deep breath. Let go of whatever it took for you to get here today, to this place in your soul's journey. Allow yourself to be fully present in this holy body temple. Relax. Let your shoulders relax, your body relax. And I encourage you to focus your mind on your heart. For it creates a dynamic duo, a divine balance within us. And as we heard the request for healing prayers, we acknowledge that within ourselves and everyone there is healing needs, mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever they may be. So with this idea of the sacredness of life and the gift of healing, the gift of freedom, we focus our attention and presence to this moment as we consider the words of a healing prayer. Living, loving Spirit, into your hands I commit my spirit, my life, and all that concerns me, including my friends, my loved ones, and all those that I don't know. In this moment, I remember the truth. You are the source of all life. Of myself and by myself, I can do nothing. It is by your grace and through your love that I go forward in this sacred and holy journey. And I know that this is true for others. And so as I pray this for myself, I pray it for all. Heal in me that which needs to be healed, and reveal to me that which needs to be revealed. I affirm that your will is done in and through me now. And it is always for the highest and best for all concerned. I give thanks in advance and grateful blessings for divine healing and resolution. I accept your love. I accept your grace. And I accept authentic freedom, the freedom that can only come from within. For this is my nature, it is our nature. Thank you, God, for hearing me always. Give thanks. Divine order is established now. established in my life and in the lives of all those that I know and all those that I don't know, for every healing need. And so now I choose to consciously cooperate with your guidance. I listen and I hear you in my heart, in my body, in every part of my being. And I follow through. Thank you, Living Mother Spirit. Thank you for the gift of freedom, for the gift of healing, and for the wholeness that is our true state. And so it is. Good morning.
Good morning.
And I'll give thanks for the scratchiness in my throat to clear up. It'd be really nice. Excuse me. Well, my name's Shari, and I am delighted to be here. And I got to tell you, most of the time when I'm here in Prescott, it's because I'm on my way to go, Payson. This is what happens when you wake up at 3:30 in the morning. I'm usually on my way to go camping. I've always loved nature. And to me, it's a part of the celebration of freedom of life, is to be out in nature. And the title of the lesson today is The Gift of Freedom. Now, Reverend Judy told me that y'all do respond if you're asked to, yes? Okay, this is a group participation thing, okay, good. So let me ask you this. When you hear the expression, the gift of freedom, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Anyone?
Hiking.
Hiking?
Religion.
Religion?
Political freedom.
Political?
Freedom from the bondage of self.
Want to elaborate?
Because this is really the only thing that binds me and ties me. This.
The mind? The beliefs? Okay. Well, I brought a little something for that as an antidote for agreements. Okay, what else?
Following where you're led.
Okay. And who's leading you?
Spirit.
We hope anyway. We can take some interesting detours. Excuse me.
Trusting yourself.
Trusting. The intuition. Excuse me.
Freedom to be my own unique self.
Thank you. Freedom to be yourself. So maybe this is telling me that y'all are supposed to be talking more than I am today. I got it. Thanks. Well, as I was preparing this lesson, one of the things that came to mind for me, the idea of freedom. Now, my grandfathers, my dad, my uncles, my brother, we've had a lot of the men and some of the women in our family have served in the armed forces. So it's near and dear to my heart as far as the price of freedom. But when I think of it for myself, personally, how I've experienced it, there's just this plethora of ways that comes up. You know, one of them was just driving up here today. You know, that I can get in my car and drive wherever I want. I don't have to ask permission. I have to make sure somebody's watching the dog, though, and feeds him and waters him while I'm gone. But we have the gifts of free speech. We have the gift of travel. I can eat what I want, sleep when I want, do what I want, pretty much. And yeah, the challenge is what's up here. The thoughts, the beliefs, the stuff. But as I was looking back over my life, thinking about, all right, what is my first memory of freedom? It was when I was a little girl. And I was so blessed because my dad was a wildlife ranger. And the first 5 years of my life, I got to live on a wildlife refuge. That was freedom. That was awesome. And from there we moved to a ranch.
which was a little more confining. There were more rules and regulations and that kind of stuff. But it was so much fun. The freedom to just run out in the grass. And my mom wasn't real crazy about it sometimes, though, because it was in the Midwest. And when there would be tornadoes and lightning storms, my brother and I wanted to sit out there and watch because we thought it was so cool. And she kept trying to drag us into the cellar. And now I'm a grandma. I have 2 amazing grandchildren. And the picture of the baby up here reminded me of them. My grandson is going to turn 2 in just a few weeks. And then I have a granddaughter who is almost 5 months. And they're in Tucson. And they are so adorable. And what I love about it is that they live in a state of pure freedom and joy. It's great. And what I love about it too is they don't hold on to things. They don't hold grudges. They don't keep score. You know, they don't get up the next day and it was like, so why'd you wait an extra 5 minutes to change my diaper? It's like, whatever. It's a new day. But we can learn so much from children. Remember what Jesus said, unless you become like a little child? So how long is it going to take me or us to connect the dot here? You know, one of my favorite things I remember when I was a little kid and we went to my little hometown in Valentine, Nebraska to celebrate 4th of July. And I got my first sparkler. Anybody still do sparklers? I notice they still sell. I love sparklers. They are just so fun. It brings out the kid in you, right? And it was amazing. I felt like I was, and you know, this was before all of the scientific research and everything that is illumined us in many ways, and you know, the Mars project and everything else. To me, I felt like I was holding the universe in my hand. That it was that divine spark. And it touched my heart so much. And it was like, yeah, that's freedom. And it's about what my grandma taught me in Sunday school about letting our light shine. Because how often are we tempted to hide it under a bushel? So that's one of the many things I love about 4th of July is the explosions of the fireworks. To me, with every burst of that light, it's saying, shine, shine. Be yourself. Be the light that you are. And that's what I see in my grandchildren. Because they don't have the indoctrination, the domestication, the programming, the junk that is rambling around up here in this brain of mine. And I tell people, I think sometimes it's part of the reason I became a minister is because I don't know if I'm a slow learner or I just need to do this 24/7. Some people are quick studies, they get it really quick. For me, I made a whole career out of it. And that's okay, it's all good. There's all kinds of ways that we can exercise freedom, and it doesn't have to be in Washington or down at the state capitol. Let me ask you, and this is probably going to fit more for the women than the men. Have you ever had a pair of shoes that didn't fit or were too tight or the heels were too high? Come on, fess up. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, as you'll notice, I don't do that anymore. I don't even own a pair of high heels. I was a fashion designer for 25 years, and it's like I won't do that to myself anymore. And it's, you know, it's the little things that all add up, isn't it? Mm-hmm. You know, when I was driving up here, I love this road. I really do. It's all twisty and turny. You go up and get. It's like a roller coaster. And I thought, you know, this is a perfect example of how we exercise our freedom of choice, right? Because when you're driving, you choose your speed, you choose your lane, you choose how you're driving, and also not to text, not to be on your cell phone, not to be putting on your makeup, brushing your teeth, and doing 17 other things, which living in the valley, I see way too much. There's all kinds of ways that we can practice our freedoms. And as we choose wisely. Sometimes it's just really simple things. It's like, to get real personal, it's like, are you drinking enough water? Are you eating healthy? Are you getting exercise? And what is rambling around in that brain? Some of this stuff that we could really delete. Anybody ever clean out your closets or your drawers, garage, whatever? You ever done it with your mind? I know, it's getting personal now. So, in choosing healthy, proactive ways to exercise our gift of freedom and choice, what we are doing is following in the footsteps of the founders of this country. And what was that about? It was about sovereignty, wasn't it? It was the right to choose. And every one of us, and I think especially within unity groups, the saying of you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. How many of you are familiar with the story of Myrtle Fillmore? Yeah. Amazing. She has been my mentor. I have felt personal visitations from her a number of times. Her body was suffering from numerous situations. One of them was tuberculosis, but there were several others. Her granddaughter, Rosemary Fillmore Ray, was a dear friend of mine and one of my mentors. I miss her dearly. But she said her grandmother had so many other physical challenges. The fact that she had even lived into her 40s, the family thought was a miracle. And then all she heard was that one statement in that lecture by E.B. Weeks: you are a child of God. What is your inheritance? One of our many gifts is freedom. So how do you exercise that? Aside from the political stuff and everything, just day-to-day stuff, how do you exercise your freedoms? This is where you'll say something.
Choose what to wear.
Choose what to wear, thank you. My kind of girl. Okay.
Choices.
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 What do you choose?
Choose your friends.
Choose your friends.
Choose to come here.
Choose to come here. Good choice. Okay, what else?
Independence.
Independence. And how do you practice that?
I do what I want to do every day.
Good for you. Yeah.
Choose the kind of reading or whatever that you surround yourself with,
Right.
positively oriented.
Choosing what you read, choosing
You
your
listen to.
surroundings, your event. Yeah, what you listen to. Now, most of the time, it is completely silent in my car. And when I go with someone, especially, I love my kids. I do. My son's in his 30s, my daughter's in her 20s, and they listen to things that I just prefer not to. You know, and so it's when I get in, my son lives in the Florida Keys, my daughter's in Tucson, and whenever we get in, they will automatically, I've got them trained now, they turn it down or turn it off. It's like, thank you, God. But it really is about choices, the choices we make in life. So, there's a workshop that I created years ago, and so I'm going to do like a really mini version of it with you today. Is that okay? Because it's called Freedom Flight. So I thought this would be apropos. Now, I want you to think of one thing. Now, it could be a thing, it could be a situation, it could be a health, whatever it is in your life. A desire that you have in your life. What's the first thing that comes to mind for you?
To be healthier,
To be healthier? I think that's true for a lot of us.
to be more peaceful.
To be more peaceful. Don't ask for patience. God, you're going to have so many chances of practicing. Yes.
Live out loud.
Live out loud. Woo! Yes. And you notice her top? I think she's doing it. Okay, what else?
For love.
I'm sorry?
For love.
For love. For love.
Want love.
Want love.
Have love.
Have love. How about be love?
Have love.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Okay, okay. All right, so with whatever it is, one of the things that I always recommend when I'm doing, whether I've done workshops on doing the dream boards and things, whatever it is, whether you're writing an action plan or a business plan or whatever it is, somewhere on it, there's one statement that I would encourage you to write down in black and white or purple and white or whatever color you want, okay? These words, this or something better. This or something better. Leave the door open for God,
Right.
okay? Because you know what? God may have such a better plan for you, okay? I thought I wasn't even going to get to start seminary until the year 2000. Do you know when I started? 92. God had another idea, and that was divine order. The good news is I chose to pay attention, listen, and cooperate with it. Okay, now with your desire, what would be a good first step for you to take in the direction of living it, achieving it, creating it, being it, whatever it is? First step, what is it?
Move. Move.
Move your body.
Move my body.
Accept
What
the
can you
challenge. Accept the challenge.
Accept the challenge?
First thing.
Okay.
First
So
thing
you
is-
have one in mind?
No, just talk to God,
Okay.
accept the challenge, and go.
Okay.
First
Okay.
thing is choosing it, to choose it first.
Okay, so we've already done that.
Okay.
Let's consider it a done deal that we've chosen what it is, all right? You name it. It's like the old
Take action.
name it and claim it. All right, what's the first action step?
Get on the treadmill.
Okay, okay, we're gonna make this personal. Up close and personal. When? Today?
What a cool.
Tomorrow? We're in Arizona. Go for it.
This afternoon.
This afternoon, great, okay. What time?
1 o'clock.
You're brave. And are you gonna walk inside, outside, or are you gonna exercise? What are you gonna do?
I have a treadmill inside.
Okay, great. Much better idea.
In the one room.
Okay.
Well, yes. Yes.
Okay, so
No
1 o'clock.
excuses. 1 o'clock.
Okay. So we're gonna be on the countdown.
Hello.
For how long?
15 minutes.
15 minutes at what speed? I have a treadmill. I'll be working.
2 miles an hour.
Okay, so we're gonna start it.
That's,
Now, the thing
that's
of
what
it
I
is-
can do.
That's what you can do.
I can do.
Okay, and when are you gonna do it again?
I can do it Monday again.
Okay, and then when?
I want to do it 5 days a week.
Okay. So would you make a commitment to yourself today to do that? Okay? All right. Who else? Now y'all don't want to talk to me. do you? I can generate silence in a room so fast. Should go to work at David Copperfield or something. Okay, but you get the idea. It's about naming your desires. All right? It's like, okay, what restaurants do y'all go to around here?
Darn many, but we go to all of them.
Okay, so give me, just name one.
Tiny's.
Tiny's, okay. When you go into Tiny's, waiter or waitress comes up to you, Lynn, and says, okay, what do you want? Do you tell them? Or do you just sit there and go? No. If we want to eat, we have to order, right? So that's kind of the way this whole thing of life is. If we want to create our dreams, if we want to achieve our goals, we have to ask for it, and it begins right here. And we have the perfect partnership in it, and it's Spirit. And as we ask of ourselves in Spirit, so that we will get up off our backsides. And I appreciate what you're saying, because in this heat, living in the valley, I'm usually up and on the trail about 5:30 every morning, and it's like, I am really not that much of a morning person. But when it's 1:15, 1:18, that's the only time I can stand to walk. Okay? So create some reasonable action steps for yourself. All right. Now, here's a little question for you. Is there anything that seems to be standing in your way? Yes? Okay, what?
My judgments, my fears. That's about it.
Judgments and fears.
Yeah.
Okay, so what color are they? Do they have a shape? Have you named them? Do they live in a spare bedroom? I am going somewhere. Sometimes, so roommate, yeah. Okay, what else?
A chattering mind.
Chattering mind, the monkey mind, isn't it? It's like, nee. Yeah, okay. All right, okay. So, I happen to know of a little something that can help clear up the blockage. Would you be interested?
Yes.
Are you willing to participate? Yes? She's sitting there looking at me like, what?
I'll do it first moment, I'm listening.
Okay, all right, okay. There is one choice that can help you reclaim your energy and your sovereignty in your life. And so I thought this might be apropos, since we're talking about the gift of freedom. Okay. Question number 4. Are you willing to release and let go of any unforgiveness that you've been holding on to toward yourself and anyone else?
Yes.
That's the kicker. It's about forgiveness. Church in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where I was a lay minister for 3 years back in the 80s. We had a lovely organist. Her name was Margaret. She was in her 90s when she retired. And I loved her. And she didn't say much. And she didn't say much very often. But man, when she did, you listened. Because it was golden. And she used to come to all the classes. And she never had a desire to be a licensed teacher or minister or anything. But she would just sit back there and listen. And sometimes she'd put her hand, fingers up to her. And we were talking about forgiveness one day, and she said, to forgive is to set a prisoner free. And realize the prisoner is me.
That's right.
To forgive is to set myself free. It's powerful, isn't it? I met someone. I had been in a church many years ago. In fact, well, actually, it was Unity Village Chapel, where I was on staff. And one of the women who was there on staff with me, I saw her at a conference about 15 years later, and she came up and she said, she said, I was hoping I'd see someone to apologize to, and I was like, excuse me? She thought she had done something wrong toward me, and she believed that I was holding it against her for 15 years. I didn't even remember what it was, and even when she told me, I didn't remember it. And it's amazing the energy we expend. Now, how many of you are familiar with Louise Hay? The stuff we hold on to, what does it do?
Kills us.
It can. You're looking at a cancer survivor, honey. My mom had it 3 times and died from it, and I decided I wasn't going that way. Once was enough. It's like, thank you, done. So, what do we want to do different now? When I say the word forgiveness, who comes to mind for you?
Christ.
We always have some family members that are just like, that thorn in your side. Got it. Okay. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. How many of you are right-handed or left-handed? Hold up the hand you write with. Okay, now put that out in front of you. Now take your other hand, use your pointer finger. We're going to do this non-dominant hand for a reason. Trust me on it, okay? Now, imagine this is your paper, this is your pen. You're going to write the first letter, just the first initial or letter of the name of the people you know you need to forgive. And be sure to put your own name on there, please. Okay? Just the first letter of their name. Come on, you can do it. There's a much longer way of doing this. It takes about a day. That's why we're doing it this way. Okay? You got a good little list going on there? Okay. You ready to let it go? Okay, here's what I want you to do. Take your hands. Say, I forgive you. I release you. I let you go. I bless you. In the spirit of love. How's that feel? Breathe. Okay. Now, we're not done yet. Yes.
I can forgive, but I can't forget.
Well, of course not. You don't have amnesia, do you?
No.
There you go.
I thought you might tell me how to
Oh,
forget.
no. Lobotomy, I think, is the only thing that comes to mind. No, I've had some horrendous experiences in my life that were absolute living nightmares. And it's like, yeah, I can still remember it. I would like to God to just like suck it out, just like a turkey baster or something, but so far it hasn't happened. But the people that were involved, we forgive. Because I like living. Because if I hold on to the junk, it's going to crystallize somewhere. And it won't be in them, it's going to be in me. Because I'm the one holding on to it. So don't hold on to it. Okay, pen and paper ready again. Okay? This time, it's going to be the other way around, because it's always a two-way street. The first letter of the first name of anyone who needs to forgive you. I know, surprisingly, there are people on the planet that need to forgive you. It may not be as long a list, but, okay. Someone that you may have, and it could be someone you don't even know their name, so you can put A for anonymous. Might have been somebody in the grocery store, on the highway. From the past, could have been from another lifetime. You could just put E for everybody. Got them all covered. Okay? Got it? All right. Hands. You forgive me. You release me. You let me go. You bless me. In the spirit of love. I had an aha moment as I was writing this lesson the other day. So I wrote it down. Unforgiveness is dead weight when it comes to realizing our dreams and desires. It's just dead weight. I think Joyce Meyer said it really well. She said, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It's pretty clear, isn't it? And pretty ridiculous when you think about it. We wouldn't do that. And yet we hold on to this junk. And the thing of it is, we're Americans. We live in the land of the free. So guess what? It's our choice to exercise our freedom. And forgiveness is a great way to do it. And sovereignty is having to say so. Okay, last piece. And that's about where to begin. So now you've kind of cleared the energy. And you can do this more at home if you want to. What I would recommend is you can write it down on a piece of paper And then if you have a fireplace or a barbecue pit or something, burn it. And rip it up in a few pieces first. And by the way, don't go back and read your list. Don't do that. In fact, write it down and then put it down. Now, with choosing to let go, letting go is always a choice. So, as far as a goal, a dream, or a desire that you have, what is one word or maybe a phrase or a statement that you can think of right now that would symbolize for that, for you, that you can take home with you? For yours, it's walking. It's about being healthier physically. Okay. Who else? Just a word or phrase.
Calm.
Calm.
Joy.
Joy. Great. What else?
Peace.
Peace. Yes. Peace. It's like peace pilgrim. I think we are all meant to be peace pilgrims in our own space. So true. Okay. And, you know, the 4 agreements, I think, says so much to this. You know, the domestication was basically the British rule of this country. You know, we get domesticated, programmed, whatever it is, taught these ways that disenable us, disempower us. And in order for us to do it, it's as simple as the 4 agreements that he writes about in the book. And it is simply, be impeccable with your word. We have freedom of speech, so how wonderful is that, that we get to use our freedom of speech proactively. How awesome is that? To promote peace, to promote love, to promote joy, to promote health within ourselves and others around us. We can be the way showers. You know, your actions really do speak louder than anything else, doesn't it? And then secondly, don't take things personally. That's the forgiveness part. Let it go. Let it go, let it go. I had about had a guy run me off the road driving up here. And it's just like, bless you. Safely on your way, please. Okay? Another one is don't make assumptions. It's like the gal at the conference. She'd been carrying around this hairball for 15 years. I was like, whoa, really? Don't go there. And then the last one is always do your best. And guess where that starts? It's right here. Taking care of your mind, your heart, your body. Honoring your soul. You know, the good news is we have this body, and I can't tell you how glad I am to be standing here in front of you today, because I've flatlined before. I've been through cancer. I've lived through 2 comas. I was paralyzed from the neck down before, and it's like, guess what? And I don't even need a wheelchair. Yay! And thanks to the blessing of following Myrtle Fillmore's role model for me, I didn't have to do the surgeries that they wanted to do either. It's pretty amazing. You know, my life is a miracle. It's like I'm 61 years young and going and growing. And I'm so glad to be here and to be able to get to know my grandchildren. You know, it is such a gift. So I encourage you to just live every day honoring that gift of freedom. And I want you to close your eyes for just a moment, because there's something that Spirit gave me that I want to share with you. Sweet, loving Spirit, we know it is divine love that plants the seeds within our hearts for our highest good and that of others. We give thanks that we now choose to do our part in bringing these divine ideas into being. And so now I invite you to imagine your heart's true desires as your reality. See yourself living it, celebrating it. Truly being your best self, living your best life. That you fully and gladly embrace your gift of freedom, this gift of choice. And see yourself using all of your divine gifts wisely and well today and every day. And if you make a mistake, it's okay.
Just gently, lovingly make the needed adjustments and get back on track. With freedom comes responsibility. So use your gift of freedom through speech, through choices, as an opportunity to inspire and to encourage, as well as to be still and listen for God and to God, for understanding and guidance. Exercise your gift of freedom, knowing that you are truly and authentically free, and so it is. Amen.